I'll join the. Well, they were muted.
I think we're good. I think
they were muted. I'll pull it up.
We're good now.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up too.
There we go.
Okay, so we finally figured it out. Clearly.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, that's typical. Honestly,
holy. Can't.
I would say that you had too many beers, but I don't think you did. To be honest, I mean,
no, I did not have too many beers today.
Yeah. Today, I don't know if we really deserved it. The Jays, they were up 4-0. It felt good at one point, and then obviously the comeback. It's tough, man. Being a Blue Jays fan is so unfortunate. Being in Toronto, I've met a lot of Leafs fans as well, and I don't know how they're being okay. I don't know how they're mentally stable because, like, being a Leafs fan, you watch the Blue Jays. Up today, 4-0, end up losing the game, and you look at the last game. First game for the Locked On Blue Jays in person, and they get no hit. Not even just no hit. There's a perfect game being thrown by Tyler Alexander, who tops out at 89.5. Maybe 91, I'll give him, whatever. I don't know exactly what it is, but the average was 89.5, and they don't get a hit until a Danny Jansen bloop single yesterday. And then obviously the Davis Schneider home run.
The Davis Schneider home run.
I will say that was electric. But
I posted that everywhere, I think, just because of how, like, I think we were jumping out of our seats. Everybody around us was so hyped. We thought, okay, maybe a Blue Jays comeback. Not in the cards.
It's tough because, like,
not in the cards.
Jano got a hit, and I know you posted a story on your personal Snapchat account. And everyone was fired up, obviously, but the fact that we have to be excited about getting a hit in a game in the 8th inning is actually insane.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be a thing that the Blue Jays are living in reality with. And saying this, like, watching these last two games, just looking like, I'm just thinking, imagine being a Dodgers fan. Imagine being like an Atlanta Braves fan. You saw it when the Dodgers came to Toronto. I think in the second inning, they had runners on third and second with one out. They didn't play the infield in. The Jays do that every single time. Because the Dodgers should score runs. Imagine, we have seen it in 2021, the team scoring runs. And just the way the Blue Jays play baseball is it kind of sucks, to say the least. It's not entertaining. They're very defensive first. They pitch first. Obviously, it is good to have good pitching. But for me, what makes baseball so fun to watch is scoring runs, getting hits, having big rallies. And the Jays aren't doing that at all this year.
No. And the other part of it, right, is we say that they're a good defensive baseball team. Oh, I want to say hi to Mike first. Mike commented here. The trip has been great. We'll get into that. We got so many stories.
Oh, Toronto's awesome.
We've been out one night so far, and it was absolutely it was electric. Yeah. Absolutely electric. If you guys don't know, Jarvis Iwasko, my brother, Justin Powers, been on the podcast a couple times now.
We found this guy in the street, so I don't know. He's just here today.
Yeah.
Won't be in future episodes, but it is what it is.
So, no, I mean, trip's been good. We'll get into that. But we always say that it's a defensive baseball team. And the problem is that we see Vlad make 2 errors last game to cost him the game. We see Bo mishandle a couple. Like, it is just a little bit frustrating. Cavan today, I think, it was a tough play, but he did fumble it. We say it's a defensive first baseball team, but I think that's an excuse. Those are plays that every team in the league are making. And it just so happens that we just can't score enough runs to get wins. It comes down to that. Some plays we say defensive first, but some plays just aren't that difficult.
I mean, you got to make the routine plays. You saw with Ernie Clement a couple weeks ago. We see with Cavan Biggio today. Vladdy in the first game of this series was, I mean, like, you don't even have to necessarily play baseball to have a better field than Vladdy, especially on that first error he had. I don't know if I got lucky or if what happened there, but I was getting beers because just to cope with the Toronto Blue Jays, how they were playing. They got no hit. Perfect game, I guess you could say. We're trying to find a term for that, but I mean, it just doesn't happen, so that's why we don't really have one. But through 7 innings, they don't have a base runner. So the only way that I could cope, probably not the best way, but I mean, it is what it is. I was hammering beers at the Rogers Center because how are you supposed to watch that team in general? But Vladdy, it's like you look back at it, and obviously you want Vladdy to make those plays. That was absolutely terrible. Be the first one to admit it. But again, you don't have a hit. You don't have a base runner through 7 innings. And that was my first experience at the Rogers Center. All of these guys' first experiences with the renovations. Again, I'm going to throw it over to either Jep or Jarvis, whichever one of you guys want to go first.
I will say something. So me and Justin were watching the 7th inning by ourselves because Braden and Carter went to go get beers. And me and Justin saw
I love it.
Me and Justin saw the error that Vlad made, the second error, and we were. Me and Justin looked at each other. And we're like, if Carter was here, he would be losing his mind because you know what? We were very frustrated, of course, up until the 8th inning, and it was. Me and Jab just looked at each other and we're like, Carter would lose his mind if he was here.
Yeah, and if I can just add on to that quick, it's a good thing the game was on Apple TV last night because this guy was looking for the highlights and he couldn't find it, man. And for his mental health, it was probably.
To this day, I don't know how that second Vladdy error happened. They're not telling me, which is probably better for like our mentality for the weekend. Yeah. So I mean, I'll probably find out for Monday's episode, but I mean. Again, you can't blame, you have to blame Vladdy. You have to with 2 errors. That's just a horrible defensive game. But you don't have, again, make-believe comeback in the 8th inning. George Springer, I usually am very hard on. I think he actually had a good at-bat. He hit that ball hard. Good play. I don't even know who's playing third base for the Rays at this point. I mean, one thing I do want to say, it's kind of off of Blue Jays baseball. It's more about the experience. And obviously, if you're from Toronto, you probably already have realized this at this point. But it is impossible to see where the pitches are. I mean... Well, you get high and low, whatever, but it could be a foot outside. It could be right down the middle. I have no idea what's going on with the pitch location.
Yeah, and I think let's touch on a little bit just of, we're going to go over this in probably Monday's podcast too, but a little bit of the experience just at Rogers Center. It was so much fun. It was the atmosphere there, everything that they have going on. They had country night on Friday, and it was an absolute blast. Take away the baseball. I mean, the problem is Rogers are gonna bring people to the ballpark. It doesn't matter if the team's good or not because the atmosphere is very electric. The problem is maybe that they're putting too much thought into that instead of their baseball team at this point. It's frustrating to say the very least. If you guys have any comments, I know Justin just threw it in the chat. Leave them. We'll read them out. We'll talk about it. If you guys have anything that you guys want covered. It's been a series so far, and I mean, we still got one more game tomorrow. We'll be there from the game. It's frustrating, and I want to go back to the Davis Schneider home run because all game
from Rogers Center, scenes, scenes.
So all game long up until that point, the crowd was out of it. I mean, they're saying,
how could you not be, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. How could you not be? Is the exact point. I mean, we went to grab beers because we're like, well. Got to do something here, and then, but then by the time we got back in the seats, the boys are up. Davis Schneider hits that bomb, and the place exploded. If there's one guy that knows how to electrify a crowd, it's Davis Schneider.
See, my problem is that Tyler Alexander. I said going into the series, we obviously were hyping it up a lot because we were going to be here. This is my first experience at the Rogers Center, as I've said. And you have Tyler Anderson, who's probably the worst pitcher you're going to see in the series by far. I mean, Aaron Savali has not been very good, and we'll see how that works tomorrow against Alek Manoah. But you look at this guy, again, I think I said it on this podcast. I know we've talked about this a ton as well, but he topped out at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
This guy is, honestly, again, no disrespect, but also disrespect because he's terrible. I mean, 91 in the MLB is definitely below average. And this guy has a 5.5 ERA going into this game. And then you see him just absolutely dial on the Blue Jays. And I don't care how good this location is. If he's throwing 90 miles an hour, again, his average is probably 89, as we saw on the radar gun every single time he threw a pitch. It's just absolutely insane. But again, I'm going to try to be positive because Toronto is such an electric city, especially being from Winnipeg. Comparing Winnipeg to Toronto, it's not even close, unfortunately. For us living in Winnipeg. But Davis Schneider's home run, I mean, I'll go into the general single first. Again, I don't think it was a great at-bat. I don't think it was a great swing. But again, you get results. You fight off a pitch. Yeah. You drive it into, I think it was right field at that point because we were in the right field corner, I believe, right? So, again, it's so tough. It's such a make-believe comeback in the 8th inning. You knew with George Springer, if he was getting out there, I thought the game was over as soon as he got out. Again, good at bat. But against Tyler, I keep saying Anderson. I think it's Alexander. I feel like I said Anderson every single time. For some reason, for me, it's been a thing. But Tyler Alexander, if I haven't been saying that, that's what his name is. He is not a good pitcher. Again, probably the worst pitcher we're going to see in the series. And somehow, against the Blue Jays, he has one of the greatest performances of all time. It seems like 7 innings of no hit, no base runner ball is absolutely insane for a guy throwing 89.
Well, and that's the problem, right? When we look around this baseball team, it's guys seem like they need a guy like Davis Schneider to start the offense. And it seems like it's Davis Schneider every time, which is the problem, right? It can't be the same guy all the time. And it seems like he's the guy that gets this offense going. And when he doesn't do it, I mean, the team just has nothing. And that's a problem. And we've talked about it. We've talked about it tons. Davis Schneider is the spark plug for this team. And to get no hit in a baseball game through 7 innings against
No
one
base
of
runner. No base
Not even no
yeah,
hit.
not even no hit, almost perfect game. And it's concerning. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit mind blown from that first game. And in today's game, it's classic Blue Jays baseball in the sense that they have 1, maybe 2 good innings, and then the rest of them, it doesn't look like anybody shows up. Eve is in the chat. Eve, Electric
our
Game.
boy Daniel too. We have to go into Daniel.
Yeah,
I mean,
my goodness.
This was our first interaction. I mean, obviously, we're not from Toronto. I feel like a lot of people that watch this podcast are from Toronto. But if all of the people that watch this podcast are exactly like Daniel, I am living life, man. That guy, again, he's in the chat, so shout out to him. An absolute beauty, to say the least.
Yeah.
A great interaction. I love the guy. He gave us a 3-2 score prediction in that game. 4-3, fairly close. I know he wanted the Blue Jays to win. Obviously, we did as well. My 2 gripes for this series was how competitive games, which I guess they have
Sort
been.
of.
First
Yeah.
game, I don't really count as a competitive game. That was horrible. This game, I guess you can say they were up 4-0 again, below the game. But Daniel, I mean, just an absolute beauty.
Oh my goodness, Carter. Well, you know what? Like it was the first time I think we've been, out somewhere and somebody that's watched our stuff has come out and talked to us, and it was an absolute blast. It couldn't have been better. I think that's the fun part of Toronto is like being around everybody else that loves the Blue Jays. And that's a big part, right? Like we're from Manitoba and we have Blue Jays fans and whatnot. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the same.
Yeah. And I know me and you have been kind of talking the viewers' ears off, obviously, as we normally do. But I just want to kind of take a step back here and just ask you two as well. We'll start with Jarvis. But so far, what has been your favorite experience, your favorite thing about Toronto so far?
About Toronto
In general.
In general.
Could be the beers, could be I'm going to say right now, beautiful women here. Oh my God. Unbelievable.
He's not wrong.
Unbelievable scenes in Toronto, but I'll give it back to you. What's your favorite experience for Toronto so far?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, besides the fans, actually in Toronto we were sitting in. We're going to be sitting in 3 different locations in the park throughout the 3 days. So, the people that we've talked to while we're sitting in where we were sitting already, we were talking to people throughout the game, and they were pretty like down to earth. The people that we talked to the entire time,
yeah.
And it was pretty awesome because you can get excited and you see everybody around you getting excited too. Like it's not just you know that everybody around you is going to get excited when especially with the home run from Schneider there.
Yeah,
it was electric.
Just
people.
Just before we get into Jap, another guy that we have to give a shout out to, and we're going to probably do this on Monday's podcast as well. He's been an absolute, just stellar guy, honestly. And that's if you guys don't know him, you can follow him on Instagram at John J. He's a DJ for a bunch of stuff down here in Toronto. Big kudos to that guy. We're going out tonight. We're going to go visit him at his one of his places that he's
Ultraviolet
performing. Ultraviolet, yeah. And he's just been great. He contacts us. He's texting us. Really, really good dude.
He seems like he's dialed into the Jays.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the big thing, right? Blue Jays fans sort of just always connected, and John Jay's been amazing. So we got to give him really, really big props. Daniel as well. The people we've met down here, and I think that's what Jar's alluding to.
I also want to shout out the amount of Vancouver Canucks fans that we've seen in Toronto.
That's right.
3 out of the 4 of us. I know Jap he cheers for them now that I would say cheers for them now that the Jets are out.
I don't know if I'd say cheers,
Maybe.
but I think he just wants the Canadian team to win the ship at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that you guys are happy.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Jeff. I appreciate that. But
Japs and morale guy, to say the least.
we got to talk to Jap here. I'm gonna let you go, and then we got some stuff to do as well. So Jap, your thoughts overall on Toronto. Then we'll get to Eve's question about sort of the plans for tonight, tomorrow, going into the rest of the last game of the series here. Jap, your overall thoughts on Toronto so far?
Yeah, we're all from the same small town. And, me, Carter, and Braden moved to Winnipeg about 2 years ago, roughly, a little less. But I enjoy living in, like, the city. I enjoy living in Winnipeg. And coming to Toronto, like, I think I enjoy, like, the city, living in a big city. And, like, I don't know, I guess I'll kind of give a bit about myself. I'm a civil engineer.
Yes, sir, you are.
Just kind of seeing like all like the infrastructure and just like honestly just the public transportation. I thought it was really cool. Like
compared to Winnipeg,
like this is like the 31st century. So I've been to Toronto once before and I really enjoyed it. But now I'm just like I'm a bit older, so I'm appreciating it a bit more.
Well, you didn't have the full experience without the beers, right?
Well, those might help too a little bit. I don't know, but no, like we went. I went with my family to Toronto in 2016. We went to a couple Jays games. I think we actually saw the Rays as well. So yeah, I guess I've only ever seen the Jays play the Rays, but I don't remember a ton from those games. I think they won or lost the first game and won the second, but just seeing the Rogers Center now is like totally awesome. Like it feels like a ballpark. Like we walk to the game and we step outside. It's just big slab of concrete. But once you get into the stadium now, it's pretty cool. Like they have we checked out the Corona rooftop patio and
in right field,
the TD Park. TD Social.
There was that. I think it's the Social House and the Budweiser deck as well.
They got a bunch of really cool places that you can check out, and we weren't watching the game from there, but we checked it out before the game. We're watching like BP, and it was pretty cool. Like I really enjoy like just really any live sporting event, but to watch it in like Rogers Center it's pretty cool to actually see it instead of just watching it on TV.
Absolutely. One thing I do want to get into before we head into an ad break is that obviously we're from Manitoba and there's not a lot of live sports. I mean, there's the Jays, it's not the Jays, Toronto. Yeah. There's the Jets is what I was going to say. And then there's also the Bombers, which we're getting a great light problem here.
Yeah, a little bit of a light problem.
But with the Jets, especially at the street party, again, I didn't go to one this year, but I know you guys did. You're getting a beer for what, $13.50?
Yeah.
Give or take, right?
Tall can.
I get you. Yeah, 1.5 beers, whatever it is.
1.3.
But I'm going to be honest. I want to marry dugout deals.
Dugout deals at Rogers Center is unbelievable. It's like $5.79 for a beer, and it's unbelievable pricing. And it's at a sporting event, you sort of expect to pay so much, but when they have like certain discounts, I'm sorry, these. Oh,
I'm
trying. She's trying.
I might have to hold it.
You know what? They don't need to look at us.
Yeah, it's all about the audio.
Your ugly mugs.
Yeah, it's all about the audio.
They don't got it.
But at the end of the day, I mean, it's those. Rogers Center just does it right. The Blue Jays just do it right with the whole fan interaction piece. Activities for the fans and so on. And the drink prices are fantastic. We'll hit a quick ad here. Then we're gonna get into some of your guys' comments so far. We just sort of want to give a quick break.
I just got to address one of these comments here. Mr. Hudson Chamberlain, this is for you.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, before we go into the ad, I'm out on the sun. The sun sucks.
Yeah,
I don't care.
this is terrible. I don't know what's going on here.
It was fine before. It's like my lighting in the podcast.
and-
Apparently it's fine, and all of a sudden it's not.
And then, of course, the little thing that you have to like tilt the
terrible.
blinds with is broken, so we had no option here. So
to
you guys
be
just have
fair,
to
this
suffer
apartment
through.
is awesome.
And
This apartment is unbelievable.
Thank
We
you to
shout out the
E-Chan.
actual-
Thank you to
No.
E-Chan.
I just jumped up
pretty
here. I mean, maybe I'll say
And just before we take a quick
Like big
break,
mug
I
and
would
that.
like to throw it over to our Locked On
Come
24/7
on.
We got the NHL playoffs, we got the NBA playoffs, we got the MLB season, and of course, it is the NFL free agency.
This guy's dialed in on it.
So make sure you check that out. If you're doing the dishes, if you're going for a walk, if you're just looking for some time to kill, make sure to throw it over to the Locked On 24/7 streaming channel.
Okay, I gotta bring up LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get qualified candidates within 24 hours. Post your jobs for free on linkedin.com/lockedon. It's MBA here. That's linkedin.com/lockedon MBA to post your jobs for free. Terms apply and conditions apply.
Terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions. I did not click on the right one, I believe, but it's fine. Anyway, LinkedIn Jobs, great app. I knew I used LinkedIn Jobs when I was searching for my job, so it's fantastic. A couple of the comments here I want to get into. Let's start with Greg. Greg, I would love to see the Blue Jays games be on Sportsnet instead of selected games being on Apple TV+. I'm glad this was on Sportsnet today, but the team needs to hold on to leads.
Yes, I agree.
100%, Greg. We are 100% with you. The Apple TV games suck. Nobody likes it.
For losers.
When we have the leads, which is very not often this season, I will say.
Dude, this is horrible.
We got to keep them. I agree.
Yeah, and the games being on Apple TV, let's address that first, I think. Nobody likes this. Nobody likes the games on Apple TV.
Certainly not Randy first.
Yeah, Randy First is not.
This is going to be
Shout out
fine.
to
It's going to have to be fine.
Yeah. Nobody likes the games on Apple TV. They're just
Pretty good, actually.
Some people would say jambalaya, yeah.
no. It becomes to the fact that the Apple TV games it just lowers viewership. It lowers the people that want to watch the games can't view the games, and that's a problem. For the fact of holding on to leads, I think it sucks. But we don't have to lead too often anyway. So when we do, it's just
That's what I was going to get into. I mean, like, you're already probably having a tough time getting viewership for these Jays games. Their offense is just anemic, to say the least. And then you're going to throw it on Apple TV.
Ooh,
Big word, yeah, big word,
words.
Carter. Thanks.
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary lessons,
Yeah.
obviously. But with the Blue Jays, I mean, they just don't score runs. Like, it just never happens. So
The Saurus on the plane.
I guess I got too big of a word for the Blue Jays podcast here, but with the Blue Jays, I mean, like, their offense again just doesn't score runs. You saw it through the first 7 innings of the first game against. I don't know if he's the worst pitcher in the league, but it felt like it. I mean, 89 fastball.
89
is,
fastball.
like, it's absolutely insane how they're just not getting hits off of this.
Yeah.
I actually have one thing to add. I think we talked about it yesterday, but like, we noticed, I think that Bo is a guy who typically goes opposite field
Right.
on those maybe higher velo guys. And yesterday he was really struggling to get his timing down on the swing because you could see he was pulling everything and he just couldn't quite time up that slower pitch. And I think that threw him off, honestly. Like, I mean, you would think that it would be easier to hit a slower pitcher, but there's just something going on with him this weekend because even today he wasn't. Did he have a hit today? I don't know if he got
He
got hit by a pitch.
He got hit by a pitch.
Yeah.
The Jays did have a lot of hits today, but I mean, unfortunately for the Jays, the hits didn't correlate to runs. Which, I mean, you're like, again, like, we should. I believe we haven't really called this out yet. We were up 4-0 today.
Yeah.
Like, we were actually up 4-0. We had a chance. Like, the Jays offense scored 4 runs, which, again, for a regular baseball team, you look at the Dodgers, you look at the Atlanta Braves, you look at the Phillies. I mean, that's 4 runs is a cakewalk for them. But you get 4 runs for the Jays, you're like, you're probably like happy about that normally, right? I am as a Blue Jays fan. Maybe I'm delusional. I mean, I think Blue Jays fans are sort of delusional about talking about this team sometimes, but it's so hard to be confident about this team when you get guys like Chris Bassett who looked electric in the first game.
Hound on the mound.
The Hound on the mound, bobblehead right up here.
Bobblehead night. But Kevin Gausman, I mean, struggled a little bit, I want to say, but it still didn't look bad, I would say.
I didn't know.
I don't know his official stats, but I mean, he was at 22 pitches after the first inning. But you look at this offense, and you think 4 runs again would be enough, but the bullpen just lays an absolute egg out there today with Nate Pearson leading that off, to say the least.
Yeah, and that's sort of the issue, right? I mean, we can get on the pitchers and stuff as much as we want, but it comes down to the fact in all of these games that the Blue Jays just aren't scoring enough runs, and that's been the problem all season long.
Actually, I want to bring something up too. Gausman, I guess it was the 6th inning when the Rays got their 3 runs on him, right? So I'd have to look at the replay again, or the highlights again, but I'm pretty sure there was a time when Jays had 2 outs. I don't know who was batting, but he had 2 strikes on him, I'm pretty sure. And there was a pitch that looked awfully close to being a strike, called a ball, and I can't remember if the guy ended up getting a walk or maybe getting a hit, but I don't think the Rays had scored a run prior to that particular point. And if the ump rings him up there, inning over, but the inning continues, and I'm pretty sure the Rays got their 3 runs after that happened. So it's unfortunate. You're not going to get every call, but man, like you just think like, darn, what if? I mean, he gets that call, they get out of the inning, they're still up 3-0. I mean, it's probably the game, I think, because I think that's kind of what sparked the Rays comeback, right?
Like I agree with what you're saying, I really do. But I feel like the overarching problem with every single game is that the Toronto Blue Jays have to play perfect baseball to win a game.
Yeah.
Again, you look back, Vladdy in the first game, 2 errors. That's unacceptable, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you look at today, they score 3 runs. I think it was the 5th inning. I might be wrong on that. Maybe the 6th, one of the 2. But they score a bunch of runs in the first, 1 inning, and then they get nothing. The offense has absolutely nothing after that. Well, again, 4 runs, maybe with this pitching staff, should be enough. But the fact that we're happy about 4 runs for me is just absolutely insane.
We come into this weekend, right? And the one thing that we talked about was getting 6 runs in the 6, right? We always say 6 in the 6, right? That's our thing. If we can get 6 runs, you shouldn't lose a ball game with 6 runs.
Shouldn't ever.
And the Blue Jays just can't score 6 runs. It is physically seems like impossible.
Seems like they can't score 4 runs consistently even.
Yeah.
6.
Just before I continue here, I wanted to give a shout out to Policy Genius. Policy Genius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. It saves you time and money so you can provide your family with a financial safety net starting today. With Policy Genius, you can find insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. As I always say, it's good. This is a great site. I know, as people get older, as people start getting into full-time jobs, even as young adults, it's something to look into. You can never be too careful. Policy Genius helps you compare your options from top companies, and their team of licensed experts is on hand to help talk you through it. Your work-life insurance policy may not offer enough protection for your family's needs. Even worse, it may not come with you when you leave your job. Policy Genius gives you unbiased advice from licensed experts team. Check life insurance off your to-do list in no time with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com/lockedonmlb or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you can save. That's policygenius.com/lockedonmlb. Just going forward, I want to go back to a couple comments from you guys. I know Daniel said that he followed John J. Music on Instagram, and I suggest everybody else go do that. If you live in Toronto, this is a guy that's at a bunch of different events. He DJs a bunch of different stuff. John J. helped us out a ton. I mean, he's given us some places to go. He's been just an absolute dog, so I got to shout him out. We're going to go see him tonight, actually. And yeah, hopefully meet some more of you guys. If you guys are out within the Toronto area, come see us. It should be fun. We got a whole night planned ahead of us. I think we got some supper to go eat after this. We got some beer pong to play most likely, and then we're gonna hit somewhere up that we can have a couple more drinks. Justin, I know that we went around sort of the whole ballpark a little bit. I know we've touched on this, and I don't want to make this just about the Blue Jays. I mean, I do, but I don't. I also want to make this about Rogers, right?
There's not a lot of good things to talk with the Blue Jays right now.
That's right.
To be honest.
And you know what? We're trying to keep vibes high here. So I want to know your favorite spot that we sort of went to at the Rogers Center. What was your favorite, Chad?
I know what mine is.
Okay. Let me think. You know what? I think the Corona rooftop patio is actually definitely worth checking out. Like,
cool.
Especially for the country night. Like, they had just it was just a vibe. They had live music there. They had a band playing some country songs and.
Owen something, right?
Owen Riegling was.
He was great. Yeah,
fantastic.
He was in the Budweiser zone, but I thought the Corona rooftop, I think that was probably the place that I would recommend anyone who's going to a Blue Jays game to definitely go check out. And I do want to say one more thing. This is gonna sound so stupid, but we're from Winnipeg. You go to a Jets game or a Bombers game and you go to the concourse and you have to go to the bathroom during intermission.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Point. You gotta wait the whole dang intermission or halftime, whatever it is.
You miss almost the whole quarter.
You miss so much of the game to go to the bathroom at a Jets game or a Bombers game here. I mean, there's a freaking bathroom in probably every 3 sections.
Yeah, it's it's like as you're drinking beers, you're obviously going to have to go number one a couple times, right? Especially if you're watching Blue Jays baseball, it's going to be tough to get through it without the beers. Let's be honest at this point. Yeah, his offense is, like I said before, it's anemic. It doesn't score runs. They just don't do it. Yeah. So to get through Blue Jays games, everyone involved with Locked On Blue Jays has tried to hype up the Blue Jays, score some runs. Clearly has not worked. We got 7 runs in 2 games, which
it's better.
Is that good? That's not good.
It's not good.
You can't say that's good.
It's not good.
Sorry, you can't say it's good.
It's not good. It's better.
But as for the accommodations at the Rogers Center, I mean, I'm a big cornhole guy. That was awesome. We didn't get to playing that, but I mean, shuffleboard. Shuffleboard's awesome.
They got games. They got MLB, the show 24.
Yeah.
Jarvis got to show off his line dancing skills.
Yeah, Jarvis line dancing out there.
Pretty awesome.
I tried.
Yeah. The guy had no idea what he was doing, but he tried his best. So that's all that matters, especially on this podcast. But just looking at for the Rogers Center outside of it, again, like JP said, it's a concrete slab. That's what it looks like. Yeah. But inside of the Rogers Center is absolutely electric. There's so many good things to check out. The rooftop, like you said, TD, unbelievable, especially if you can sit behind the plate. Obviously, not necessarily in our budget, but if you guys do sit there, I mean, I feel like that's the best spot in the stadium. Obviously, I mean, right behind the plate, you got to see Kevin Gausman, Chris Bassett, all that kind of stuff. I definitely want a beer, Jack. I know that's what you're getting. So saying that, though, for me going into this weekend, the Blue Jays baseball, it does matter. It obviously does matter for my mental health. But at the end of the day, for my first time being at the Rogers Center, I honestly can't really complain.
No, and I think that's the part, right? We came into this weekend, the Blue Jays baseball to us is everything. Getting wins, but just being able to enjoy ourselves. I mean, there's nothing better. I swear, there's nothing better than being at the ballpark. We're at the ballpark for 3 straight days, and it is unbelievable. I mean, the vibes are so high. The vibes are so good.
Nice. I mean, I'm funding the Blue Jays payroll with the amount I'm spending on beers.
Oh my goodness, it's terrible. Yeah. The amount of money spent is not great, but it is fun. And the other thing that I wanted to point out, what I've noticed, is in Winnipeg, it's a little bit sketchy. You're walking downtown to the clubs, the bars, and it's tough. And
come on,
and we, Jesus, but no, we're walking down here, and I know we were going back pretty late last night. And honestly, I've never felt safer.
Yeah, it was.
There's people downtown. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's out. You can chat with people on the street.
Well, maybe a little bit of liquid courage in that, but
I mean that's part of it.
I do agree, though. I feel like it's just the vibe around downtown Toronto. I mean, everyone that I have seen so far has been very friendly. The guys we were sitting beside today's game, they were talking about their experiences, where they live, how they feel about Toronto. Yesterday, like even the bartenders, I mean, it's kind of their job, so I'm not taking too much from
Kid
that.
has a phone.
We learned that I guess us Manitobans have a bit of an accent to these Torontonians.
Yeah,
apparently.
All right, yeah, we got to get into this.
Yeah, let's get into this. Jessica. Jessica, right?
Yeah, I want to marry Jessica.
She had a cool hat today.
Yeah,
Very
very
good. Jessica May. Jessica May. And,
fully name dropping on the podcast. Love to see that as well. But I mean,
well, you said. I mean,
Jessica could be anyone. I hope it's May, whatever. I mean, that's my wife to be.
Hazel
so anyway, but saying that, apparently, you guys can call me out in the comment section. I don't think I say it weird. We kind of talked about this before. I don't think I say it weird as well. But Budweiser.
What's wrong?
Budweiser.
I don't think there's.
Does that sound a little crazy? I don't know.
Apparently, it might be a little bit of Manitoban.
Apparently, we got a Manitoban accent here because I said I want 2 Budweisers. So obviously, I was getting after it at the game.
Oh,
there was
you
a
know
couple
what?
other things
I was
too.
Kit, that's number one. I think something even more important is that they don't serve 2-4s
or 12
in Toronto. All they do is 6s in these bigger cans.
Yeah, we went to the LCBO. It's just across the street. We can basically, we can see it from our window here. But we walk into the store and, well, first we get a couple free samples.
Of course. Well, you gotta take advantage of
that. What were the was the food that they were
the churros.
The churros.
They had a Mexican,
churros and an LC.
Mexican lager and churros. Perfect combination. But then we walk over to pick up some beer for, the weekend. And we're looking like, geez, there's only 6-packs. Like, man, I thought people drank beer here, but I guess.
Oh, that's I love the take.
We're looking like, where the heck's the 2-4s? Where's the 30-pack?
See, I think what we need to do is maybe look ourselves in the mirror and are we degenerates?
It might be a question of are the Locked On Blue Jays boys?
The answer is yes, we are. Yeah, we just have to be.
Well, sure, but you don't think there's degenerates here? Like
there has to be. There has to be.
I mean, clearly there's something different in the water in Manitoba. I don't know. I mean, if it's maybe some people have said. I know we had Dylan Wilton on the podcast on Friday. He said the beer's a little different here, and
maybe
I don't know. I was pretty banged up on Friday. I mean,
how
could you not be banged up after watching that game? I said, not a good coping mechanism. I don't advertise that to anyone. Don't do that. But I had to drink the beers.
You know
what? The beers never let me down. The Blue Jays too.
100%. I agree. And you know what? You know what was such a good part about sort of yesterday was that there was a lot of people. I mean, we met some people actually for the first time from Manitoba.
Oh, you have to call her out.
Take it easy. Take it easy. All right?
I'm not name dropping her.
We met some people
from. You had a good night.
We met some people from Manitoba, and that was really good. But then we met some people from Toronto, and actually, very just regular, genuine people, down to earth people. And I think that's the nice part, right? Got to go to the beer store for 2 hours.
Okay, where is the beer store?
It's an actual beer store.
Because
it's like the place on.
I asked a couple people giving out samples a question because we were all wondering this. Why wasn't there 2-4s? Why wasn't there 12 packs? So the girl said that there is separate beer stores, which we don't have many. We just have liquor marts in Manitoba most of the time.
Well, we got vendors,
right? We got beer,
but the liquor stores still sell 2-4s stuff.
Yeah, and they sell everything.
They sell 30s at liquor stores.
Yeah,
right. And so this
I bought a 50-pack once. So that's not true.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're just of course, our ears speak up, and we're like, "Where do you get the 50s, Jeff?"
I actually want to look at this back and see how we actually perked up. I feel like everyone got excited.
Oh yeah, we gave each other a look.
And so whatever, I was talking to this girl, and she said, "Yeah, there's separate beer stores." So I'm assuming that they sell the 12 packs and then 2-4s maybe at the beer stores.
Okay.
Well, maybe we went to the wrong LC. I don't know. LC BO is what it is.
Yes. And we did notice actually at the game today in one of the places where we got a beer in their little cooler, they had 2-4s. So we I guess we're not exactly sure where the nearest. And I mean, like I said, we can look out our window and see this LCBO. So I mean, we're not looking to. Whatever. It's a little inconvenient.
I mean,
we have pretty good problems. It's not that big.
Unfortunately for us, before you get in, I'll let you go. You're excited.
Speaking about that, right? Talk about a baseball town. If you buy so many beers, you get baseball Miller Lite jersey.
Yeah, and it even has the buttons
It
printed
even has
on.
fake
Yeah, it
buttons.
has
You
fake
don't even have to do them up.
Fake
the
buttons.
buttons.
Okay, I have to call this guy out. This guy expected real buttons for buying what? 2 6-packs of Miller.
Okay,
Miller
don't
Lights?
get me wrong. I didn't expect two buttons. I
You-
didn't
you
expect
wanted
real
it to
buttons.
be like a Blue Jays.
You were
not,
pretty excited.
Not necessarily Fanatics jerseys.
No, but
Maybe the old ones you were looking for.
maybe,
but
yeah.
That
You know
is
what?
kind
Though?
of Fanatics quality.
This is
That-
Fanatics quality. Yeah.
That's actually what they're shipping out to the Blue Jays.
This is
Like,
exactly what they're the Blue Jays.
believe it or not, Kevin Gausman wore this same quality actually.
Yeah,
For
no.
sure.
I mean, to be honest, I wasn't like expecting anything crazy, but I expected buttons. But honestly,
buttons.
I wasn't expecting anything crazy, but I expected buttons. Now, yeah, you're really fucking far.
well, either way,
You gotta do it. You're very far out there.
Yeah. Oh God, there it goes.
I
No.
know there's always one. There's always one.
You know what though? At the end of the day, unbelievable deal, and you can tell.
God damn it.
I hate to say it. It's you can tell it's a baseball town when they're giving away baseball stuff before Blue Jays games. It's absolutely electric. We get the bobbleheads as well.
Those are sick.
The last thing I think we should get into here, Eve comments, our friend Eve, she comments asking what our plan is for tonight. And I think, again, this gives us a great opportunity. I know you guys don't necessarily, maybe some of you don't know who this guy is. His name is John J. Music on Instagram. Absolutely great guy. He has been really, really solid for us down here in Toronto. And we're going to go visit his club tonight. I believe it's called Ultraviolet.
Yeah, it is.
He is a DJ there, so he's performing tonight. We're going to go meet up with him. He's put us, I believe, on a list, so he's helping us get in, because otherwise we're going to have to be waiting in line for probably 9 hours.
And apparently it's a pretty packed line most of the time. So
Yeah, it's a busy place. So
Yeah, I mean, here, sorry to interrupt, but it looks like John with 2 N's 983 says, "Got to go to the beer store." That's
So,
definitely on us.
we addressed
Okay.
that
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Oh, did we?
yeah, I think so. But,
Well, I mean,
but good on
he's
yeah.
confirmation here anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
I
is that
missed
the
but-
comment that you were talking
Yeah,
about before?
yeah, about the beer stores.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
so
that one's on me, but I mean, I got to give credit
No.
where it's due. I mean,
Yeah.
clearly we didn't know what we were doing in Toronto, but
Yeah,
obviously,
fair
I
enough.
mean, my first time here, you guys, all of your second times here,
First time
after a
that we
very
did.
long time. so
wasn't old enough for these.
these guys might have been 13 when they came here the first time.
Yeah.
So I mean,
16.
yeah, sure.
I believe me too.
Justin
believe
could
I
have
was-
drove when he came back to Toronto
Yeah.
when he was previously there.
I believe I was 16 as well. That's crazy.
But anyway, we're definitely not experiencing the beers at that age. Maybe some of us were, maybe some of us weren't, but we're not going to get into that on this podcast. But saying that, I mean, we're 0-2. It's tough. It is really tough. We got our fate relies on Aquinoa.
Yeah.
If this is a
Save the
series
series.
sweep, my 2 gripes with this series was have competitive games, which again debatable. First game especially. Second game, I'll give them to them.
Second game was
Third game, we'll see what happens. But the other gripe I had was at least 1 win. I didn't think that was crazy. But here we are. We're 0-2, and we have Aquinoa to rely our fates on. Probably the most inconsistent pitcher you could have on the Toronto Blue
I like
Jays.
the Lion.
The line.
But again, he would look disgusting his last start.
He
So
looked so
again,
good.
Yeah.
this Rays lineup, to be honest, I mean, I can't say anything about offense, but I don't think it's that good. I'll be honest.
No, it's
Yanni Rosarina's not been good.
No, he's been terrible.
I saw Paredes has
Uh,
been ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
he's killed them.
he's unreal. Yanni Diaz is obviously a guy that's very good, but a team that's dealing with injuries, a team that is 4th in the AL East behind the Boston Red Sox. Maybe after today they might be higher. I haven't checked the standings. I'm not really battling the standings quarter away in the year, but maybe we should be, because the Toronto Blue Jays are not setting themselves up very well for even a playoff push, which is crazy to say for a team that's supposed to be a top contender for the World Series, a team that's supposed to be at least competitive for the division, not looking like that at all. For a team that's 5th in the AL East, again, the AL East is tough, but you got to win ball games, especially against the bad teams. I'm not saying the Rays are a bad team, but saying that, we got White Sox, Tigers, White Sox, Pirates. We need a series win every single series to at least be competitive.
100% we do. Yeah, we need to. We might even have to get a sweep in there somewhere.
I would also like to point out, I don't know, we were talking about this before. I know you guys said this. I don't know if this was correct or not, but have the Blue Jays been swept this year?
I don't remember a time the Blue Jays have been swept.
Because we were talking about this before, and I somebody said that we haven't been swept this
We
year.
might have
in a
not been
series.
swept, or it's
In
been a long time.
At least correct us if we're wrong, but I'm gonna go with the knowledge that we haven't been swept because I don't remember a time this year that we've been swept. I feel like
And
every single Blue Jays series we lose 2-1.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
That kind of makes me more depressed,
Yeah,
actually, that they
yeah.
haven't been swept because
And they're this
that means that they haven't, done anything in any. They haven't won many series, right? Like
No.
how many series is this now? Because they won't win this
I
series.
believe it's 8 now. It was 7
Right?
before. I believe it's
They
8 now.
didn't
Yeah.
lose the series to the Phillies. They tied them, but still, it's not a win.
And we tied the Orioles as well, 2-2.
Yeah,
1-1,
I mean-
wasn't it?
Or sorry, 1-1. That's what I meant. Yeah.
It was a tie at the end of the day.
Yeah, tie.
Going into that, I mean, I think we're gonna end
I
it here.
didn't want to say the sweet thing, but
No,
It's
relevant. Yeah,
but we obviously don't want to see that.
we're right on the verge, and that's the issue, right? Like, these are two games that the Blue Jays could have stolen, realistically.
Stolen is a tough word as well. Like,
Yeah.
No, it is stealing one.
I agree.
Maybe
but
they don't
yesterday-
deserve it.
Maybe
It's
yesterday
tough.
they didn't.
For sure.
Today, I thought.
Today we
yeah,
lost it,
today.
but yesterday's they could have stolen that game, and they didn't. They just didn't show up.
See, I mean, on this podcast, we try to be positive about the Jays team, but I feel like it just keeps getting worse.
It does.
It's
The more we talk about it,
it's
the more
why we have king cans right now.
That's right.
I mean, like
Yeah.
we're not copping out with the regular cans here. We gotta keep going somehow. At least I know a lot of you guys are probably in the same boat as us. Maybe not as degenerate. Hopefully not, to say the least. But
Jesus, yeah.
I mean, I got nothing else to say. It must win tomorrow.
No,
Must
yeah,
win.
we'll throw it to you.
I have a positive thing to say, actually.
Yeah, let's get a positive spin zone in here.
Little shout out. My brother plays on the Okanagan College Coyotes, and they are in their playoffs this weekend. And they won their first game on Thursday, 14-4. Today they won, I believe. I don't even remember. what
Did
the
your
score
brother
is.
pitch at all, or?
No, he
No.
rose the pine.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's
Hey,
typical for him.
still, congrats, Ryan.
Yeah,
That is a great
Ricochet
accomplishment.
shot to Ryan Powers, but I mean,
Also our friend.
Yeah, still our buddy.
co-op legend, as some say.
Yeah. No. But
Legend about
no.
nothing.
I think they're in the finals tomorrow. So my mom and dad are out there in Lethbridge watching him. I mean,
So what Justin decided to do, instead of going closer to him, he went farther away. He just wanted nothing to do with the guy. So.
God, I really cannot stand him. I am loathing the time when he comes back. So
But I mean, thank you guys for watching. I mean, the support. Amidst of, I mean, a terrible stretch. to be
Terrible.
honest.
Terrible. Yeah.
But I feel like the whole season has not been good. Like, one game, all spins on the positive. George Springer hitting 6 today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hitting a RBI.
Thank God, this guy's an RBI single.
Look at him.
RBI
Look at him.
single.
You know
Like-
what? And that's exactly, you're 100% right. That is the positive, is that hopefully this will jog the mind of John Schneider into starting Davis Schneider in the one spot.
Yeah,
Davis Schneider,
I'm sorry.
electric.
Okay, I'll let you go. You got something to say, Jack.
unfortunately, this is a negative thing.
Oh.
I got
should
a
have.
negative thing to say after 2.
We should have known that today's game was not going to go well because Davis Schneider, first batter,
I was just going to go into that. That's
leadoff double, and the Jays cannot score him.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we should have known how today's game was going to go.
Shout out Davis Schneider
Right.
for being the absolute rock of this baseball team, the absolute spark plug.
Electric walk-up song.
Yes.
As well. I don't know if you can hear
we
it on
haven't
the
even
TV.
talked about the walk-up songs,
But-
but
We'll get a lot into this.
Yeah,
We're going to
that's
do the
right. There's
podcast
a lot
on Monday. We're going to get into the whole trip, just the more experience of everything. We'll cover
Yeah,
the games as
absolutely.
well, but I think the
Oh, yeah.
experience is the biggest part of seeing stuff maybe that you don't see on TV all the time, right? I think that's a cool thing.
100%. I mean, I'm gonna make. I couldn't make a TikTok or YouTube short, whatever it is, yesterday.
A little bit
I
banged
couldn't
up.
do it. Well, I mean, I was too banged up, but the Jays made me too banged up. I couldn't mentally talk about the team.
The Jays knocked you up.
You could say that. You could say that. But I mean, not exactly the words I would use to express that. But I mean, I guess JP spin zone. I'm a spin zone guy. So I mean, be looking. I don't even know if that's a positive. I don't think that is. But yeah, what I was going to go into is the Davis Schneider thing. I mean, the problem is that I love the Toronto Blue Jays. I love baseball. So unfortunately for me, as they could go 162 and I still watch every single game.
Yeah.
Which I hate my life. I sort of hate my life right now. But again, positive spin zone. We're trying to be positive today. I said before we went here, I'm not letting the Blue Jays dictate my weekend, and we're definitely not going to do that. Even though I did say that, and then I got fairly banged up, but I mean, that's probably going to happen today as well. That wasn't really dictating on the Blue Jays' performance. That's just what was going to happen anyway. I want to say thank you guys for watching the debates, comments, always, as I say. My favorite part about this, we talked to Daniel as well. He gave us his insights on the Blue Jays. You got a score prediction from him. I wish he was right, but he wasn't. We are never right anyway.
Well, no, we're most of the time wrong.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, I think the way that Daniel was thinking is that you got to at least believe in the team.
That's right.
Again, they're not giving us a lot of hope, but why are we watching the games? Why are we going to the games if we're not going to believe the Blue Jays are going to win? The offense, it's just the same story. The offense sucks, to say the least. Let's be honest. Not good. But to say, again, one more positive spin zone. We're at the Rogers Center. When the Jays score runs, it's electric.
Oh, my God. It's electric. Everybody gets out of their seats. Everybody gets out of their seats. It's cheering.
It's May right now. I cannot imagine this place
Imagine
in October.
Oh my God.
For a playoff game. My goodness.
Imagine. I always think about this. The main moment I think about all the time is the Jose Bautista.
Oh my God.
Imagine how electric that place would have been. The dome, I think, was closed in that game.
You couldn't hear yourself scream. Never mind.
Yeah, well, I mean, I yelled so loud yesterday about the David Schneider home run, I gave myself a headache. So I mean,
yeah, I didn't have any voice by the end of the night.
And again, that's what we do for the Blue Jays team. But I got nothing else to say. Does anyone else have anything to add?
One last thing. I want to show
you got something to add. Yeah.
Well, typical. Yeah, we doesn't shut up. Jordan First in the chat, brother of Carter First. Let's go.
That's what he said.
Now we just need to get Randy in here, and we'll be good to go.
The Blue Jays are horrendously awful. Yeah. That's probably a little bit of a toned down opinion that my dad had. Yeah. I would love to have my dad on this podcast, but I think it probably wouldn't do well for.
There'd be a lot of cuts.
Yeah,
there'd be a lot of cuts.
There'd be a lot of cuts. But I know that guy watches every game. I know my brother has been dialed in. I think recently he hasn't watched the Blue Jays games, but I can't really blame him because it's been really terrible to say the least. Yeah. But I mean, Jarvis, got anything to add, Job?
One more thing. Daniel says, what's our prediction for tomorrow? I guess we should go over that. Jar, we're going to start with you.
Give us a home run prediction.
All I'm going to say is that Manoah's pitching. We got Manoah pitching tomorrow. I think we have seen one home run so far.
David Schneider, I called.
From the Blue Jays, yeah.
I called from the Blue Jays, yes. Which
yeah, we've got to see
it. We've seen home runs.
And I predicted Vlad in the first game and JT in the second game, which they did not.
JT is lost.
JT is having a tough time. Home run prediction for tomorrow's game, I would say, just from what I've been seeing, George Springer hit the RBI single or whatever, but I would say I'm sticking with Vlad just because he's had some good at bats.
I honestly thought you were about to say George Springer, and I might have slapped him.
I would.
No, Vlad's a very good player. His at bats have been good. He's been hitting hard baseballs, and I think that's one thing when you're at Rogers Center, you can see how hard those balls are being hit.
110 off the bat, exit velocity, ground he popped into the ground.
Rushes the ball. Yeah, even he grounded out.
That's why it's so frustrating though to watch the guy. It's because he hits the ball so hard, but it's right into the ground, seemingly almost every time. Yeah. But again, we'll get back to the predictions. I had a sweep
for that Rays
for the whole team.
Yeah, I mean, I got to also say, I mean, I tried to get the good vibes going with Dallas we had on the podcast. It's not my mental. I mean, I knew we weren't going to sweep. I knew it, but I tried to will it. I tried to will it. I tried to manifest it. I mean, I'm so down on the team right now, but I mean, Alcano had a great start. I'm a Blue Jays fan. I want this team to be good. They're just not doing it, and I can't bet against them. I just can't do it. So I got an Alcano win. I think it's going to be hopefully a higher scoring game for our entertainment as well. We've seen enough pitching battles at this point. I got to go for a win. I don't necessarily believe that, but my heart's saying I need to win. We need to win.
And just before I get into Jap, for our final one here, I'm going to go with a Blue Jays 3-1 win. Alek Manoah absolutely shuts the door.
I guess I should give a score prediction. I'm gonna go 4-2 Jays.
I'm gonna go 5-3 just because I want to see more offense. But yeah, I'm gonna go 5-3. I didn't say mine either.
The beer helps, John. For sure, it helps. Jap, what's your score?
It's the only way through, John. It's the only way.
I got 7-2 Rays.
I hate that.
Jeff. All right, well, that's
you know
the way
what?
to end
You
it.
know what? I
Oh my
have
God.
thought. I predicted the Jays are going to
That
win
is a
both
brutally
games, and
honest
opinion.
they've been wrong both times.
I'm-
So I'm trying to do some reverse psychology. I know the
Okay.
Tampa Bay Rays are watching this right now. I'm in their heads now.
Aaron
Everybody's watching
Savali goes on Sunday. I'm sorry, he sucks. I'm going to say he sucks, but the Blue Jays offense makes everyone seem like they're the best pitchers of all time. Yeah, thank you guys
And
for
we're going to go
watching.
mug food.
Yeah, we're going to go hammer beers and probably eat. You guys should do the same thing.
And watch Canucks game.
Watch the Canucks
Big
win
Canucks
tonight.
game.
Watch the Canucks win tonight.
3 out of 4.
Yeah.
3 out of 4 of us are fans, so we'll see you guys, I guess, on Monday.
Part-time fan. I'm a part-time fan.